Hello everyone, Corpse here, bringing you another video tutorial. Today's video tutorial is one that I've done multiple times before, and this is just an update to it. This is Block Breakdown. So today what we are going to do is we're going to go over what is a block and how to create your own block. I'm not actually going to do any coding. All coding that I normally do in the video tutorial has been already done, so that's going to save probably around 20-25 minutes worth of video. So we're going to try pushing through this as fast as we can. Let's try keeping it under 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is, what is a block? A block, in simple terms, is a script that has really no function except to display information or information links to go to those information. It's just going to be a script that shows up on multiple pages, is very short and straight to the point, like the navigation right here. All it is links to the modules or whatnot. Theme management, very simple. Change your theme. You just select what you want and it will automatically do it. But these will show up on every page. That's it. Now you may ask, well, what about the ones in the center? Same thing. These are blocks right here. This is a block. This is a block. This is not a block. This is actually the home module, which is the forum news module created by Noda. But at the very bottom here, this security, that is a block. And then everything on the right is a block. So it's very simple, straight, short to the point, not really much to it. Where a forum module itself, we come into the module, has depth. You can go into it. Multiple files, multiple layers, multiple things to do within it, where a block is not. A block is just straight to the point. This is what it is, that's it. If you want to know more, you have to go into the module type thing. So that's what a block is. So now we're going to talk about creating a block. Well, there's two different ways to go about that. In the first area we're going to want to do is go into our preferences. Go to miscellaneous options, and then down here in the text area, make sure you have the editor set to CK editor or whatever. There might be, I think Lone Star has a better one that he's going to be putting in with the next release of Evo. So, but if we go back to here, it's just, of course, go into preferences, miscellaneous options. For now, just make sure you have CK editor. And if there's one better that comes out, then use that one. But it's all going to be relatively the same way, same thing. So let's go back to the administration and click on blocks. So today I'm going to be showing you the coding for a couple different blocks. Right here is the greeting message, the one that I created today. Just wrote it up real quick. We have the tutorials, and I don't remember what the other one I had opened. But those are just examples. But the first way is how somebody was asking today on the Evo site, and it has been brought up several times before on other posts with people trying to do the same thing. And that is creating a block by just pasting in code. What I mean by that is you come in here, you click add new block, you give it a title, and then you paste the code right here. I don't have any HTML coding handy on me, so give me 1 second and we'll make some magically appear. And bam, there it is. Okay, so as you can see, there's some HTML code. Now, if we click submit right now or create block, it's not going to work. You may wonder, why is that? Well, it's very simple. All these arrows right here, are going to be replaced. They're going to be stripped away. And if I click source, you'll see why. You'll see now it's all in divs, and now it gets all changed. That's how it's going to be posted inside the database. So if I click create block, let's just name this one demo. And I move this up, and I refresh screen. As you can see, that's not how it's supposed to look. Now, if I sit there and delete this and click on source and then hit Control V and now do this, see how this looks versus how that looks. Save block. There you go, right there. Very simple HTML. Now, that's most of the problem right there that people have is they'll paste the code, whatever the code they have, without going into the source. Do I recommend doing this? If it's very basic HTML, nothing special, you're going to be doing some bold stuff and that, then what I recommend using is just all this type of stuff. Write it out and then do all your highlighting, font changes, background colors, text color, and what that. You can add images using this type of stuff. Go ahead, put that there, create yourself a block. For the longest time, that's what I did with this right here. But I got away from doing that and I started creating my own blocks. And what I do instead now is I just create my block and then I select it from here and it's in a file. I don't have to worry about the editor screwing up anything and whatnot. The information stays out of my database of all the coding and that. So yeah, so let's open this up. Here's the greeting message that I created. This is a basic layout of a block. Granted, this is using some PHP, using arrays and a ternary operator to figure out which one to display. A little bit more easier to understand or follow is this one right here. Is basically, instead of using echo in PHP, you need to use HTML content. Every block you want to have it start off, especially for Evo, not Raven Nuke, but Evo, you would want if, and then you're going to want this snippet. Now, if we were writing this for Raven Nuke, we would do something like this. I'm going to leave that Evo one there. That is what we would do for Raven Nuke. So, I mean, you can see they're very similar, just Raven has a little bit more. So basically what this is saying is if this is not defined as a block, then exit, get out, leave. And then the next part is instead of doing echo, we do content equals, and here's start of the HTML code. So we could do something like that we had before. So, like something we had before, we come up here. I'm just going to use it in this block that I created. So, imagine we're doing something new. Here, I'm actually just going to delete this. Now, I want to have this in the HTML. So, what I would do is $content equals and you would want to basically just copy this first part but we can't leave it like that. We actually have to put in a period. We have to do that basically right in front of that equal sign. And we just have to now just copy this. Magic of editing is we can skip ahead. But as you can see that we are now done with the HTML. The HTML has all been inputted. And basically what it is after the first content, if we want to have multiple contents, you have to have that period in there. And I did content for each line just to keep it a little bit neater. And you can see that done right here. Same thing, content, and then they have the periods here. Simple tutorials. Here's the content right here. The one thing that is a little different about this one is you can see their very first content, they have a period, which is not necessary. It's pretty much everyone afterwards should have that, not the first one. But that's pretty much it when it comes to doing a block. What you want to do is just create a text file. Start off your text file with basically this one line, if, and if you want to copy this down, all you need to do is pause or open up any block inside your blocks folder and just copy that line. And then all it is $content space equals space single quote. Now, I do want to bring this up while we're here. What happens if I want to do something like this? Have an apostrophe with inside my code. As you can see, my editor is popping up that there's a syntax error. Well, what this is saying is since we used a single quote already to open up and say, okay, everything between this quote and the next quote, single quote, is HTML, go about that. So it's reading, okay, put this as HTML, but this quote is telling, okay, that's the end. So everything here should be PHP or something else. Well, or PHP at least. And it's not. Because this is the actual quote that we want the system to register as the actual end for that line. So to make this so it doesn't give that syntax error, right in front of this quote, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a backslash, like that. So it's a single quote here and a single quote here. These are basically saying everything between this line, read as HTML or text. This one right here is saying ignore this, it's not part of the PHP. We could get away with doing as many double quotes as we want inside here without causing any problems because the double quotes is not being used as part of the PHP. We're using the single quotes. So now if we save this and ran with it, that right there, even though it shows up as this word, coffees, it looks like that. When you see it, when it's displayed, it's going to be displayed like that. So basically that backslash is being ignored. It's just telling the PHP to ignore that single quote as part of the PHP. It's not. So that's basically what it is doing. So it will be displayed as that instead of that. So, and that is a problem that I have found a lot of people doing. So I do recommend getting a program like this. This is Dreamweaver. Here, let me do this. Open with. Here's Sublime Text right here. Let me copy this code right here real quick. I'm not really sure. How does this show syntax errors? There we go. That's the syntax error. And let me see if I have Notepad++. And yes, I do have Notepad++. So let's again open up, paste that. And let me remove that. And as you can see, this also does show that there's a syntax error, but it's not really defined as easily, but you can tell. I'm sure there is a way. I have not used this program in a while, but I'm sure there's a way to change the theme so it'll be more prevalent. But I can see that this line looks good all the way up to here. It's showing that it's all grayed out, and then there's a problem there. So, of course, it's a backslash, not a forward slash, and there we go. That fixed it. So, yeah, even Notepad++ does show that there is an issue with the script if you are missing that. So it's really up to your pick of the poison of what program you want to use. I use Adobe Dreamweaver mostly, or I'll use Sublime Text, but I know a lot of people like Notepad++. This one is definitely free. This one is free. As you can see, I'm using the unregistered version, which is the free version. I've not registered it. But of course, you can buy the license to get the registered version and unlock all its potential. So, yeah. Make sure you're using a program like that and not something like Notepad. My God, do not use Notepad. Also, if you go create a file on your desktop, like a PHP file, the way you do it is right-click on your desktop, go to New, and select Text Document. To create a block, you would start off with the word block, all lowercase, and then you do a dash. And then you go with whatever name you want this. I'm going to do test block. So I'm going to do capital T because I want it to show up as a capital T, underscore, block. Now, as you can see, it's still .txt. If you do not have your computer set up to show the full folder type, Google how to open it up. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, they're similar, but they're also very different on how to do it. So I'm not going to go into how to do it. Do your search, your own search. Type in like Google, Windows 10, how to show file types or file extensions. And it will tell you exactly how you set it up to do that. But once you have that, all you do is remove the .txt and change it to .php. And then hit enter. Pop-up will come up saying, if you change the file name extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? Yes, because we're changing it from txt to PHP. But that's how you create a block file. And then you just open up the blank block. Of course, just come in, put in your opening PHP, if defined, exit, and then, of course, like that. And $sign content equals there you go, our text. And now if I wanted to do line 2, $sign content equals period equals line 2. And if I really wanted to, I would do something like this, which is a line break. And you can put your HTML in here. Just remember the rule of thumb. If you put a quote inside here and you have more text afterwards, put in a backslash right in front of that one quote. And you won't get any errors. So that is it. I mean, blocks are very simple. They're out there. If you need more help or you're a little bit more confused or something, I mean, definitely go through these blocks, open them up, see how they are. I mean, there's all different examples. You can see right here how they use content, use a single quote, put it in a line break, end quote, and then it uses a function with a variable in PHP and use the periods to start and stop, and then it goes right in there. Now, if this is the proper way, you couldn't do, you can't do that without the periods. You have to have those periods. But like I said, I'm not going to go too much into PHP coding. But yeah, content. If we wanted to have HTML, then do a variable HTML, we could have easily done this. Quote, and then come down here, content equals, and of course we need the period there. And there you go. That right there is the same thing as that. Which one looks better? This one. But doing the periods is not because of the content or anything, or it's a block. That's just actually PHP standard. So, but again, that will be for either a live stream or a video tutorial. I've actually think I went over that in a live stream I was doing a little while ago. But what it comes down to is the essential for blocks is very simple. Opening of PHP, having this defined, and then doing each line of code in its own content. I have seen people do this as well. Just like that. I've seen people do that, which is actually okay. Is this recommended? Is this what we would say is clean coding? No. But it does work, because what we're doing is we're doing a single content. We're putting in all the coding. Every line, every quote inside here, we're canceling out with a / right there. And the only ones that we have open where we want the PHP to come back are the ones that are working. And then at the very end, there's the double quote to end off this content, and then the semicolon. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what it comes down to is just those things, and then you close out the PHP. And I believe you can also get away without having the closing of the PHP, though I still do. So that is up to you guys to decide how you guys want to go about it. But that's pretty much what it is, or what it comes down to as a block, and what you do with a block. I do recommend coming in, creating your own file, and doing your own thing, but that is up to you. But you have plenty of other blocks that you can go through, look at for references. It's not that hard. It's just you have to sit and think about it, and that's seems to be the general problem that I find with a lot of people. So I do hope this explains a little bit, and you have a little bit more understanding of what a block is, what you could do with a block, how to create a block, and the do's and don'ts, the basics do's and don'ts. If you have any questions in that, feel free to contact me through my website, headshotdomain.net, or you can contact me through Evo Extreme's website or Lone Star Modules website. Yeah, you guys take care and have a good one. And if you have any suggestions for future video tutorials, feel free to let me know on my website. And if this video tutorial helped you at all and you want to help donate to our website and help us keep our site going and keeping these videos coming, feel free to stop by and make a small donation contribution to the website. Every penny goes right back into our website and our TeamSpeak and all that, keeping everything going. So yeah, till next time, you guys have a great one.